to the internet. This week the topic is on things we're excited about. Job Hunters is coming back. If you don't know what Job Hunters is, it's an amazing web series. If you haven't watched it yet, you should watch it. I will put links in down there. Sherlock is coming back. They finished production. So it'll come eventually, they tell us. I've had a Tumblr for a while, but I just started like reusing the Tumblr. So if you have a Tumblr, we should totes for reals be friends. I will put a link to my Tumblr down there. Is it called Friends on Tumblr? I think it's called Following. Followers? We will follow each other. It doesn't work if you follow each other. Then you're going in circles, bro. I'm not funny. At the start of the semester, I started volunteering. It's through this program called Circles, and what it is classes adults in poverty take to learn how to be more financially independent. Every Tuesday from 6 to 8 I go and I help with the kids. I think I just gravitate towards the shy kids, or they gravitate towards me. It's probably both. Like most of the volunteers, the type of people who volunteer for this kind of service or activity that's very people oriented tend to be extroverts. They all have a certain way of interacting with the kids that doesn't work for all the kids. It's exciting for me because I remember being that little kid. I remember not wanting to do what the other kids did, but also feeling resentful that I was left out. Older people didn't engage me in the same way they would the other kids who were a lot more, you know, affectionate and emotive. And I definitely got this feeling in my childhood, like my shyness and my introversion and my way of expressing myself was somehow wrong. If they sent me to a class where a lady would just try and get me to talk, like the purpose of the class was for her to play games with me, to try and get me to engage in the same way the other kids would engage in those sorts of activities. I know I've brought that up before, and just because I've always thought it was like a funny anecdote, but I think also because I really internalized that message that there was something wrong with me, that I needed to change and I needed to be fixed somehow into like this set way of interacting with the world. So long story short, what I'm trying to say is it's just exciting for me to get to work with these kids and engage with them on the way like they understand the world, because I get it. I'm not trying to say I'm like changing these kids' lives, but just for those 2 hours a week, I can be there to engage with them in that way that the other volunteers kind of don't. Is exciting for me, guys. It makes me feel good. It's definitely a two-way street. Like I'm the one like giving the service, but it's also so nice to be loved by these little kids, and it's so exciting to play with little kids. They don't have the same inhibitions when we develop as we get older, so they're so willing to play pretend in these ways that don't even make sense, and one minute they're a tiger and the next minute they're Spider-Man. It's all in their head and it's all just coming out in the form of play, and it's so cool to see that. Last thing, the future. It's terrifying. But it's also terribly exciting, and that's kind of what it's like being a college student.